It was a rainy night. It was a rainy Saturday night. I was out in the restaurant with some friends having a great time. It was almost midnight and we had to leave. We came out, said our goodbyes, and I walked towards my car. I got in and started driving towards my home. I had a long day and was really tired. It was about an hour's drive to my home. On my way, I started to feel sleepy, so I turned on the radio to keep me awake. But there was some problem with the radio. All I could hear was static. I was checking the radio when suddenly I saw someone standing right in front of me, straight ahead in the middle of the road. I severed left and applied the brakes hard. The car screeched to stop. I got out of the car to check, but there was no one there. I looked around where I saw the person standing, but there was no one to be seen around. No person, no tire marks, no indication that anything happened. I thought that my mind was playing tricks on me because I was extremely sleepy. I went back to my car, checked the car, everything seemed to be working except the radio. I was a little shaky after that incident and went on to drive slowly towards my home. I reached home at 1 a.m. Just as I got in, my phone rang. It was Andy, one of the friends with whom I was having dinner earlier tonight. He sounded worried, and he said that he was calling to check that I reached home safely or not. I told him, okay, that I was okay at ask what's the matter was. He sounded confused and scared. He told me that while driving home on the way he saw a guy who looked just like me standing there in the middle of the road. He thought that he had hit me with his car, but when he went out to see, there was no one there. That was weird. I said it when I experienced the same thing. He said that he had called the other two friends too, and even they saw something similar. He started to panic. I told him not to think too much about it right now and just go to bed. We'll figure this out, tomorrow. After the call, I took a nice hot shower and then went to bed. Next morning, the four of us had decided to meet at the same restaurant and discuss the event of the last night. I reached there early only to see that the restaurant had been burned down to the ground. The entire place had just been completely destroyed by fire. There was paramedics and firemen checking for any survivors and trying to get the dead bodies out. I saw an out I saw an onlooker standing at the side of the road and went up to him to ask what had happened there. He told that he told that there was a fire last night, a big one. No one survived. All the people were trapped inside the building. No one could call the fire department as all the phones were destroyed. The fire engines and the paramedics came in the morning when everyone was already burned to death. I felt that was very strange. as we had just had dinner there last night. I went toward the road to wait for my friends. As I was going, I saw one of the paramedics taking a dead body out. It was charred, but somehow the face looked familiar. I looked closer, and then I remembered where I had seen him. I was talking to him a couple of minutes ago. I turned back to see, but he was gone. I started freaking out, thinking that did I really see a ghost? The paramedics placed the dead body next to the other one. Coincidentally, it also looked similar, extremely similar. Sorry. Coincidentally, it coincidentally it also looked extremely familiar. I don't know. To my surprise, this was the person who I had seen last night. The one I thought that I almost hit with my car. But from his wounds, it looked like he had died there in the fire too. My head was starting to spin. What was going on? It was as if suddenly I was seeing ghosts everywhere. By this time, my friend Andy reached there too and was shocked to see the place burnt down. How is that even possible? He said. We were almost the last ones out of here, and the owner said they had to close the place. Yeah, I know, it's all very weird. This place burning down and me suddenly seeing ghosts everywhere. What ghost? Andy asked. I told him about the dead bodies lying there and sorry. I told him about the dead bodies lying there and how I had seen the same guy last night and then today's morning. That is strange, Andy said. I did not see any ghost, but I remember seeing you last night in front of my car. Just as we spoke those words, I saw paramedics carrying out four more bodies Andy, me, and our two other friends. All four were burned. I looked at Andy and then my burned and lifeless body being carried away right in front of my eyes. And the story ends.